Hello everyone and welcome to our educational session. My name is Paul Arsuf and I'm the founder of the Decentralized Web project. I'm going to talk about the project in the end of this presentation, but let's start right away with this educational presentation, and the topic today is what kind of AI do we want? Thinking for us or making us think better? Artificial intelligence is gradually conquering the terrain we once considered untouchable. It writes, it thinks, it designs, and it surpasses us in many disciplines with a precision that should give the average person sleepless nights. But how do we actually measure this superiority? Does being simply faster, more efficient, or error-free? Or are we in danger of forgetting that what truly makes us human, let's say intuition, creativity, the illogical genius of the moment? If machines calculate everything, what is left to the dreaming? For thousands of years, philosophers have tried to define intelligence, creativity, and knowledge. Plato envisioned a world of pure ideas where truth, goodness, and beauty exist objectively. If we followed this logic, AI would be the perfect student. It recognizes patterns with superhuman precision, tirelessly analyzing data, and is immune to exhaustion or bias, at least in theory. But does that mean it truly understands? Or is it merely a high performance illusionist dazzling us with brilliant deception? We compare AI to human performance using measurable criteria: accuracy, speed, consistency. But excellence, the kind of genius that drives art, science, and business, defies this logic. AI can create perfect training materials, but is being learning with them actually enjoyable? It can generally generate a flawless business strategy, but does it understand the power struggles, egos, and cultural nuances that determine success or failure? Sure, AI can generate a painting or write a novel, but does it truly capture the spirit of the times? Does it feel the pain of loss, the euphoria of first love, the irony of fate? The flaw in our thinking is simple. We evaluate AI by its output because that's measurable. But human achievement is more than just the final product. Context, intention, and unpredictability of creation make the difference. AI excels in interpolating existing patterns, but when was the last time it created something no one saw coming? A great writer is not an assembly line worker for perfect sentences. Hemingway wrote with his fists, Didion with a scalpel, Kafka with fevered dreams. Their words weren't just linguistically precise, they captured the unspeakable, the things that can be squeezed into algorithms. AI can generate brilliant metaphors, piece together dialogues in seconds, but from what inner fire? Has it ever lain awake at night because a thought was too vast to grasp? Nietzsche would have laughed at AI. There are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamed in your philosophy, he would say. AI can calculate, connect, simulate, but weighs the escalation, weighs the one sentence, what that tips, topples the empire, the idea that unsettles an entire generation. A CEO who merely executes perfect strategies is not a visionary, but a manager. Steve Jobs didn't just understand technology, he understood desire. A teacher who only delivers facts is a walking encyclopedia, but nothing more. Knowledge without passion is just a data waste. So the question is not whether AI will eventually surpass us. The question is, will it ever be capable of not just reflecting reality, but shattering and reinventing it? Will it ever say something that shakes us to the core, shifts our world, focus and forces us to think differently? Or will it remain an endless remix of the past, brilliant but without that spark? Every new AI generation passes another Turing test, but the benchmark shifts with it. Once we set if a machine can write, it is intelligent. Then came GTP4, GTP5, Gemini, Claude, Llama, and suddenly we had to refine our criteria. Yes, it can write, but does it understand? We built more powerful models, but the fundamental question remains unchanged. Where does statistics end and where does consciousness begin? John Searle's Chinese room experiment is more relevant today than ever. Transformer models like GPT are nothing more than hyper-optimized probability machines. They do not understand text, they calculate it. A large language model takes a prompt, draws from trillions of tokens in its training corpus, and generates the most probable responses. Elegant? Yes. Revolutionary? Absolutely. But proof of true understanding? Not even close. And here lies the paradox of modern AI development. The more convincing the simulation becomes, the more the boundaries between reproduction and true cognition begin to blur. GPT-4 can draft legal text. Chatbots like P or Cloud sounds empathetic. Midjourney creates images that evoke emotions, but all of this is based on probabilistic pattern recognition, not inner experience. Every test we give AI remains a test we designed, a mirror of our own definitions of intelligence. Perhaps the real true Turing test is no longer about whether AI can deceive humans, but whether we want to keep deceiving ourselves. A new paradigm of comparison, progress, or sedation. We talk about AI as it were a better human, faster, smarter, flawless. But that is the mistake. AI is not human. It is not something entirely different. And perhaps that is where its true power lies, in our greatest threat. We compute and compare machines to ourselves, and we are surprised that they function differently. But when does difference stop being just different and becomes superior? When does efficiency matter more than empathy? When does speed outweigh intuition? When is perfect reproduction enough? And when do we need chaos, madness, and genius? The ultimate success principle in business was never about being better, it was about being different. Henry Ford didn't build better carriages, he got rid of the horse. Steve Jobs didn't improve keypad phones, he made them obsolete. And AI, will it redefine the game? Or will it remain just a damn good assistant, brilliant but passive, a mirror of the past that compliments us but never truly challenges us? Or that is that a real nightmare? AI won't just expand our thinking, it will take it over. Cognitive offloading is nothing new. We gave up mental math to calculators, memory to Google, navigation to GPS. Now we are not just outsourcing knowledge, but actually outsourcing creativity, strategy, and maybe even morality. What if uh, we're not just forgetting how to think, but actually forgetting also how to feel? Emotions are not some romantic mystery, they're work. They arise because our brain calculates, interprets, and creates meaning. But what happens when AI takes over that work? When an algorithm decides which news should make us angry, which video should move us, which story should inspire us, then emotions is no longer a lived experience, it becomes a product, a UX feature, optimized for engagement, curated for maximum ad revenue. The question is no longer whether AI will surpass us, the question is whether we are still human once we outsource our thinking and feeling to machines. Maybe AI will lead us to an era of boundless creativity, new possibility, and unprecedented innovation. Or maybe it will usher an age of perfect optimized indifference. The real revolution begins when we stop comparing AI to ourselves and start understanding where it is reshaping us. And then we must ask ourselves, do we even want that? Let us stop thinking about AI as if it were the problem. AI is not the problem, we are. We rush into the future with open arms and closed eyes. We hype every new model, applaud every gain in efficiency, and fail to see that with every smart upgrade, we surrender a piece of our own intelligence. Do we want machines to think for us, or technology that forces us to think better? Do we want algorithms that optimize our lives, or tools that challenge us? whether we have the courage to use technology not as a crutch, but as a springboard. Whether we still understand that intelligence isn't found in calculation, but in rebellion. That humanity didn't triumph because of its logic, but because of its chaos, its doubts, its dumb defiance. AI won't enslave us. We would sedate ourselves. It is no longer about whether machines will surpass us. The last question is whether we stay awake enough to notice. And with this, I will end this presentation. Thank you for listening. Thank you for viewing. And I'm coming back to the beginning of this presentation when I told you that my name is Paul Arsov and I'm the founder of the Decentralized Web project. I'd like to tell you about this project and several other projects that we work on or we did actually release. But first, the Decentralized Web project built a decentralized communication and advertising platform. As I just said, it is monetized through advertising. It has its own blockchain instance and it rewards people who come and become users on our platform, and it rewards them with tokens, and it rewards users who are inviting our other people to join our platform. It rewards them with tokens, and it rewards users for viewing advertising with tokens as well. The meaning we put in decentralization is different than the meaning put in blockchain technology. We view blockchain technology as fundamentally flawed and unsuitable to drive decentralization. And in our implementation of decentralization, we do allow direct communication from user to user without going through a third party, namely a server or a central point collecting information from people and users and then distributing this information back to people and users. Once again, we allow only direct communication from user to user without going through a third or other parties. And with this said, I like to tell you the name and the URL of the website of this project. It is decentralizedweb.org. Decentralized and web, these are two words, and they're typed all together. Decentralized web. Then there is dot and it ends with org. With this said, I like to tell you about the second project that we did release, and this project did have a collection of non-fungible tokens or NFTs based on three-dimensional objects. With 3D objects, there has to be a special engine which can read the file of the 3D object. Then it opens a window on a computer screen. Then it displays the 3D object, and then it can do some manipulation of this object. In general, creators of 3D objects, they use standard 3D software engines, and currently there are two very popular game engines. One of them is called Unity and the other one is called Unreal. But from the very beginning of our project, 3D NFT project, we did decide to build our own 3D software engine. And what it does, it reads the file of the 3D object, then it opens a window, it displays the 3D object in the window with it open, and it starts animating the 3D object in a way of moving it in a random fashion around the window it did open. But in addition to these basic and initial capabilities, our 3D software engine has multiple additional capabilities. The first additional capability of our 3D NFTs is the capability of speaking. Our 3D NFTs can speak in one of three different voices. The 3D NFTs can speak either in a male voice or female voice or in a whisper kind of a voice. In addition to the three basic voices, there are three different flavors of voices. A voice can be spoken in a normal speed fashion, or in a fast speed fashion, or in a slow speed fashion. The second important and additional capability of our 3D software engine is the capability of voice recognition. The 3D NFTs can recognize voice commands, and if you have a 3D NFT being animated and moving in a random fashion, then you can issue your very first voice command to this 3D NFT to stop moving. And then the 3D NFT is going to stand still and stop moving. You can issue following voice commands to the 3D NFT to move left, move right, move up, move down, zoom in, zoom out, rotate. And then the 3D NFT is going to fulfill each one of these separate voice commands and move left, then move right, move up, then move down, come closer, zoom in, go further away, zoom out, and start rotating. The next additional and important capability of the 3D NFT is the capability of them having a basic artificial intelligence. Wow, really? Wow. You can ask the 3D NFT, who are you? And then the 3D NFT is going to reply in few sentences of who they are. You can ask the 3D NFT to describe something. For example, describe Web3 or describe decentralization or describe Russia. And then the 3D NFT is going to describe in few sentences about Web3 or decentralization or the country called Russia. The last additional but not least important capability of the 3D NFT is the capability of stereoscopics. The stereoscopics is the capability of being displayed in like part of the 3D NFT is going to be displayed in red or reddish colors, and another part of the 3D NFT is going to be displayed in blue or cyan colors. Then you can come to the website of the 3D NFT project, and now is the time to tell you the name and the URL of the website of this project. It is 3dnft.decentralizedweb.org. 3D NFT is typed in a way of the number 3 followed by the letter D followed by three other letters N, F, and T. And it is typed all together 3D NFT. Then there is dot, then there are two words, decentralized and web. Then there is dot and it's ends with org. Once again, 3dnft.decentralizedweb.org. On the top of the main page and every other page, you can see number of links. One of these links points to links to accessories. When you click on this link, you're going to see that we are offering special glasses. When you click and order one pair of these glasses, then you're going to see that one lens of these glasses is red and the other lens of these glasses is blue cyan. Then when you receive these glasses, you can put them on. You can request displaying the 3D NFT in a way of stereoscopics, and then you are going to see the 3D NFT is coming out of the flat two-dimensional computer screen, and you're going to see it in real 3 dimensions. With this said, I like to tell you a little bit about our 3D NFT marketplace. And in this 3D NFT marketplace, we have our own blockchain instance. It runs Ethereum software, and it is the same software which runs on Ethereum mainnet. It runs on Binance Smart Chain. It runs on Polygon Matic Chain. It runs on Avalanche AVAX Chain, and it runs on many other famous or not so famous blockchains in existence. With this said, I like to tell you that by having our own blockchain instance, then we allow our users not to pay gas fees for the deployments of the smart contracts for the non-fungible tokens or NFTs, and we do not charge our users for transactions of transfer of ownership from one user to another user. And also, by having our own blockchain instance, we allow our users to buy and receive proceedings from sale in multiple crypto coins. Currently, the choices include Solana Sol, Polygon Matic, Avalanche AVAX, and KuCoin, which is a big centralized crypto exchange. They have a coin called KCS. With this said, also I like to mention that we have a second parallel and independent way of buying and selling the 3D NFTs, in addition to buying and receiving proceedings from selling crypto. And this second way is done entirely in fiat currency. So, for example, you're a user, you come to our NFT marketplace, you browse through the collection of our 3D NFTs, and you see one 3D NFT that you like to purchase. You can see, when you click on it, you are going to see a page dedicated to this 3D NFT, and on this page you are going to see a drop-down menu asking you to choose a way of payment between 4 different crypto coins, and a fifth choice of paying with fiat currency. When you select payment with fiat currency, then you are going to see a screen where you have to type and put the number of your debit or credit card, expiration date, CVC, and when you click on the button to complete the transaction, then what is going to happen is there is going to be a transaction and conversion from your national fiat currency, which could be different than US dollar, and it is going to be converted from your national fiat currency to US dollars and deposited in our bank account. Then we're going to follow this with a transaction and transfer of the initial ownership from our 3D NFT marketplace to you, and now you become the owner of this 3D NFT. So let's say you play with this 3D NFT for a while, and then you decided to put for sell. You decide on the price you want to sell it for, and let's say there's a second user who comes to our 3D NFT marketplace. They browse through the collection of the 3D NFTs, and they click and like in particular the 3D NFT that you put for sale. They're going to present it with the same choice between payment with 4 different crypto coins or payment with fiat currency. So let's say they decide to pay with fiat currency. They put the number of their debit or credit card, expiration date, CVC. They click on the button to complete the transaction, and what is going to happen is there's going to be a conversion from their national fiat currency, which could be different than your national fiat currency and different than US dollar. And the transaction is going to convert from the national fiat currency of the second user to US dollar and deposit the payment for the sale of the 3D NFT in our to our marketplace, to our bank account. Then we're going to follow this with a transaction and transfer of ownership from you to the second user, and now the second user becomes owner of this 3D NFT. Then we're going to follow this with the third transaction and conversion from US dollars to your national fiat currency, and the payment for the sale for the 3D NFT is going to be deposited in your bank account in your national fiat currency. With this said, I'm ending talking about this second project. I'd like to tell you about a third project that we work on, and this third project builds charging products for electric vehicles. We estimate that the number of electric vehicles is going to exponentially grow up year by year in the near future. And with this exponential growth of these electric vehicles, we estimate that it is going to become ultimately insufficient the way we charge these vehicles. Currently, the vehicles are charged in a way of them coming to places resembling the places internal combustion engines. When they come to gas stations, they load fuel and they leave. In the same way, the owners of electric vehicles, they come to charging stations outfitted with a limited number of electric vehicle chargers, and the owners of electric vehicles, they can connect electric cable from this charging station to their electric vehicle. They can identify themselves to the charger with their debit or credit card. They can they can request loading of energy in their vehicle. They can wait for a little while their electric vehicle is charging, and then they're going to leave. But we estimate that the number of these charging stations is going to become ultimately insufficient for the exponential growing number of electric vehicles. So what we are proposing is many of the owners of these electric vehicles, they are living in high-rise residential buildings, and these buildings are outfitted with a ground floor parking lot or multiple underground floors of parking lots. And the products that we're building, we aim specifically for them being mounted in parking lots and allowing charging of electric vehicles directly in the parking lot in these residential buildings. So when the owner of electric vehicle comes in the evening from work, they can identify themselves to the kind of a charger that we're building with their debit card, credit card, or near-field communication card, or near-field communication keychain token, or near-field communication ring that the owner, or if you're the owner, you could be wearing. And then you could connect yeah, like electric cable to your electric vehicle, and you can request charging of your electric vehicle during the evening, during the night, and early morning while you are at home. But in the same way, owners of electric vehicles could be working in high-rise office buildings, and in the same way, these high-rise office buildings could be outfitted with a ground floor parking lot or multiple underground floors of parking lots. So the owner of electric vehicle, when they come in the morning for work, they could identify and themselves to the charger, connect electric cable to their electric vehicle, request charging, and leave their electric vehicle to charge while they are at work during the morning, afternoon, and early evening. And with this said, I like to tell you the name and the URL of the website of this project. It is power.rstack.com. Power is the ordinary word for power, then there is dot, then there is a word which I can spell it letter by letter. It is Alpha, Romeo, Sierra, Tom, Echo, Charlie, Hotel. Altogether, rstack, then there is dot, and it ends with com. Once again, power.rstack.com. On the main page, you can see that we did put links to 3 different surveys. You can click and fill these surveys, which one of these is about hardware, the other one is about software, and the third one is about features of charging products. And when you fill this survey, you are going to tell us of the kind of products that you like to see, and then we can customize some of our existing products or build a new product that is going to fulfill your needs. Also, we put an article called gas station model versus the parking lot model, and this article explains in very big details about the type of product that we're building, its capabilities, and what it could allow not only owners of electric vehicles, but potentially could help distribution of energy companies and electric utility and providers to achieve. With this said, I'm ending talking about this project. I like to mention another project that we just released, and this project has 2 different artificial intelligence agents, and these artificial intelligence agents are outfitted with their own gender, their own voice, their own avatar, and their own prompt and large language model. And for example, you can task each one of these 2 different AI agents with something specific. For example, you can task the first AI agent to have female gender, female voice, female avatar, and its own large language model, and prompt to be very seductive. Then you can outfit the second AI agent to have male gender, male voice, male avatar, and like its own large language model, and you can prompt it with being very angry. Then you can push a button to start the interaction between these two AI agents, and then you can observe the interaction between the first agent being very seductive and trying to seduce the male AI entity, and then the male AI entity responding in an angry fashion to the attempts of the female AI entity to seduce them. Like after observing this interaction between the two AI entity and enjoying, of course, this interaction, then you can stop this interaction. You can save a transcript of this interaction for yourself, and then you can also save the parameters of this interaction and share the parameters of this interaction on our website, and you can share it with other users so that they could like put the parameters to themselves, and they could see the interaction for themselves. With this said, I'm going to tell you the name and the URL of the website of this project. It is ai2ai.decentralizedweb.org. AI2AI is typed in a way of the letter A followed by the letter I followed by the number 2 followed by two other letters A and I, and it is typed all together AI2AI. Then there is dot, then there are two words, decentralized and web, and they're typed all together. Then there is dot and it ends with org. Once again, ai2a.decentralizedweb.org. With this said, I'm ending talking about this project, and I like to mention two other projects that are work in progress, and one of these projects is automation agent which records your actions one by one, and in the end of this sequence of actions, then you can put a label to this sequence, and then you could then recall this sequence of action by like saying the label that you put on this sequence, and then the automation agent is going to play one by one this sequence of actions, and like at the final step it is going to ask you to confirm this final step so that you could pay, for example, for purchase of food or purchase of airline ticket, going for a specific destination, or purchase a concert for an event, for example, concert coming at a specific day and time. Also, I like to mention other AI agent that we are in the process of building, and this AI agent is going to count the number of tokens that you, the user, are spending when using AI agents. Like currently, the providers of AI agents and AI models are like transitioning from the model of monthly payment to the model of like millions of tokens or thousands of tokens or per minute charge, and then they're going to like bill you for the use of these tokens, um, and you have to have like minute by minute or day by day or week by week idea of your spendings, and so that you are not going to be surprised in the end of the month with a huge bill that you have to pay for the use of AI models and AI agents. And with this said, I'm ending this presentation. Thank you for listening. Thank you for viewing. Have a nice day. Have a nice evening, and goodbye.